the Almost Awesome Show. That's why it's almost not totally awesome, because if it was totally awesome, I wouldn't have done that. But this is the Almost Awesome Show, episode 29. I am your host, Jacob Anders. You probably knew that because this is my YouTube channel, Jacob Anders Reviews. But unlike the other day, today I am not alone. And per usual, Nick is back joining us. He finished all of his business, and he's here to hang out with me and talk about news and junk and stuff. So we're really happy to have you back, Nick. Last week I didn't know what to do without, well, not last week, Wednesday, I was just talking and didn't have anybody to talk to, really. It was a sad day.
You know, you talk to yourself, so I mean,
well, I do talk
it's all
to myself
good
all the time. But I tried not to answer myself on camera. That makes me look really fucking crazy. So
yep.
Anyway, how you doing, man? What's going on over there at the Movie Emporium? It's been a week since everybody saw you.
Yeah, I'm good. I am in the throes of moving here soon, so things are going to be changing. I am also in the throes of doing two full episodes, like 8 episodes each. One I can't talk about. One's the peripheral, which I have to finish before I move because I will not be doing a lot of videos for quite a while. So it's going to be an interesting experience. So it's fun. The other one I know people are really excited for, but I wish I could talk about. But you know, people are like, no, you can't talk about that because no, we don't like you. So yeah.
Well, big changes coming to the Movie Emporium. Well, there may be some changes here as well. By the way, everybody, is this your last one for a while?
Yeah. I mean, if worse comes to worse, and I might try to like get on through like my phone. I don't know if like Zoom or will allow you to do that or not.
I think,
but you never know. Yeah, so I'll see if I can work something out. But for the time being, yeah, I'm moving. I don't have an actual place at the moment, so I'm kind of shifting for different things. So when I have a place, I'll have internet. I'll be back up and running as soon as I can.
Okay.
So.
Well, beyond that, everybody wish Nick good luck there, and we do hope to see you on the show more often. There we go. I always do that. Other changes that could possibly, things I'm considering, thinking about maybe. The show, I have found myself here on the channel finding it difficult to do as many reviews as I want to do. I'd said when I started the show, I want to do the show, but I want to continue doing reviews, maybe not as many, but I still want to put reviews out. I find the show taking up a lot of my time. So I'm considering maybe doing one show a week, but just having it be a bit longer. I don't know. What do you guys out there in the chat and all that think of that? Would you rather see a longer show that deals with more stories and more stuff like that once a week, or do you like the twice a week thing? I'm not really sure, but I found myself with these reviews I want to do. I just don't have time to do them and stay with this schedule too. So I'm trying to find that happy balance right there, because I enjoy doing the show. I want to do the show, but I also enjoy doing reviews. So I'd like to do them. And I've had to like give up I've had some movies early and I've not been able to review them I've been able to watch them, but it's kind of like by the time I've seen them and can do a review, it's like, what's the point now? I mean, I enjoy talking about movies, but sometimes, in doing this, you do have to kind of maximize when you put something out so that you get views and things, because that is just the game. That is what it is. It does matter regardless of what anybody says. And if I'm putting in the amount of work to do something versus getting like no views for it, you got to sometimes say, well, I'll just move on to the next thing. There's been a few of them that have come up like that, and I don't want to do that. I want to find that happy balance. So there could be some changes coming up for that. As of right now, though, I'll still be back on Tuesday, but I'll probably actually make a decision about that between now and then. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Let us know if anybody has any comments about that. But for today, it is business per usual. We do have a review we're going to come at you today. Just kind of we saw a movie and we're going to talk about it. We are restricted a bit in what we can talk about, but it's okay. We can still talk about the movie non-spoiler, right? Spoilers. Is the other thing
yeah. It's. I think the embargo lifted when it was at TIFF. It's the International Film Festival. So we're fine talking about it. They're like, oh, don't spoil anything because you might tell us things in the movie. And I'm like, okay, give me more
There,
movies, and they're like, we don't like you, and
yeah. Well, I mean, and
no, not really, but
I didn't plan on spoiling anything anyway.
no,
But on the
there's
flip
not
side,
a
there's
huge
not really a
lot
lot of spoilers in it.
yeah, I know. There's like three things you can't talk about, but it's just like I don't know.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
yeah,
plan on spoiling anything. I just want to kind of talk about our thoughts. The things I want to talk about are more broad anyway, not really specific
yeah.
to the story. But we are going to have a review coming to you of a movie here about the midway point of the show, and I do have a few stories to talk about, some of which are spicy. Now, much like last week, and Nick isn't aware of this because he wasn't here. He abandoned us last week. But
Sorry.
the news bit side of things, I don't think I'm going to really do that as much anymore. I do have some today to talk about, but it's just going to be a little bit more. Hey, here's some little things to talk about. If they develop into like a longer conversation, maybe we'll break it out later. But so we'll still talk about these smaller stories, but I'm not going to like make it as formal as we were before. Um, oops. Preview. I hope nobody saw that. I still got the background though, so I'm going to use it. So we're gonna start the show as usual about talking about some smaller stories. I'm just not gonna make it as formal, like I said. And that first story, I mean, unless you had, did you have anything else you wanted to talk to everybody about, Nick?
No, send me money.
Yeah, me too. Send me all the money.
Send us money.
Up in the, I committed that I want to start interacting with the chat a bit more. It looks like James Gippill is here. Fright's here as usual, and Magical is here. What's up, Magical? I haven't seen you in a while. Hope everything is going well. I don't mind once a week, and I miss your movie reviews too, says Magical. Yeah, I miss putting them out. Kind of hit home. Somebody sent me a review or a comment the other day. Said, "Do you still review movies?" It's like, shit, yeah, I do. I put reviews out, or at least one review out every week. I do want to put more out though. Like right now, I have 3 reviews stacked, 2 of which are filmed, and I just gotta. I need time to, for the way I do my reviews. They just. We were actually talking about this a minute ago. My review style, my editing style rather, it just takes a while to edit them. Because I talk a lot and I skip around a lot. So there's a bit of editing that goes into my review style. So I got to have time.
You don't just poop them out like I do?
I don't think you poop them out. I think you're just better at flowing your stuff together. Mine's like all over the place. Like if you saw my timeline when I do a review, it's just cut. There's all kinds of cuts. So. But hey, that's my style. Whatever. But all good. Good to hear, Magical. Happy to hear it, and hope you're doing well as well, Fright Films. But anywho, let's jump into the smaller stories of the week, and the first one is this is actually, I think you sent this over, Nick, but I saw it where I looked for news. RIPD 2 is apparently a thing. Why? It's straight to video, which I didn't know that was still a thing. I mean, do they still call it that? Do they call it straight to VOD or what? Yeah, it's not
straight to the dumpster fire.
Yeah, I call it. The first movie was like such a bomb, but we're getting a sequel for RIPD, and none of the original people are in it, as far as I know. It is straight. It is a classic '90s straight to video sequel of a movie. Who asked for this?
No one.
Why? I mean, the funny thing will be that when it comes out November 15th, I believe. The funny thing will be that if it comes out and it's good. Like if it comes out, it's supposed to take place back in the Old West. So I think that what's his name? The dude.
Jeff Bridges?
Yeah, Jeff Bridges' character. It's not played by Jeff Bridges, but I think it's about his character when he became part of the RIPD. Just looking at the poster. I pulled that out of my ass, by the way. I'm just assuming. I know it takes place in the Old West, and there's a woman with a sword on it. So
yeah.
I don't know. I can't really comment on its quality because I've not yet seen it, but I do know it's straight to video with people you've never seen before, and it is a sequel to a movie most people did not like. But hey, if you're a fan of RIPD 2, or RIPD, or were a fan, you're going to get more of it, I guess. Straight to video. I don't... Do you give a shit about this?
I don't know. It's one of those things like, if it were on like a bootleg or something like that, maybe I'd watch it, but I'm not gonna I'm not gonna go on, not like when I did during the pandemic and go on, looking for shit on iTunes or Voodoo or something like that. The review. I mean,
The good old days.
that's literally well, yeah, that's literally how I found 2049. That's literally how I found whatever that movie with Cody Smith McPhee where he goes to the future. I think it's 2049
Yeah, it's
actually.
2049.
Yeah, that's where I found that shit at. Like those types of movies where I actually found some ones that I enjoyed, but I'm not
Yeah,
looking for
like
RIPD two.
Archive was
Archive. Yeah,
really
Archive was
good.
perfect. But yeah.
Well, I'm assuming you didn't really care for the first RIPD. Have you seen the first RIPD?
I saw it in the theaters, and I don't
Oh,
remember
I'm
anything
sorry.
about it. That's how memorable that movie was.
Jeff Bridges is in it,
Yeah.
and Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds is
I,
the other main character, right? Isn't he?
oh, I think so.
I
I
could
don't
be
know.
making that up. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's probably like Kevin Hart and The Rock or some shit.
Yeah, I thought. I'm pretty sure. I know Jeff Bridges is the old guard character, and then the new one. I'm pretty sure is Ryan Reynolds. I don't know, but yeah, it's not a very memorable movie. I remember it not being very good. And Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon was the villain. I just remembered that. Kevin Bacon
Okay,
is the villain.
sure.
And the female protagonist, she is somebody famous. I can't remember who. I want to say Jennifer Connelly, but I don't know. I feel like we're devoting way too much time to this book. It doesn't deserve it. Hey, R.I.P.D. If you were a fan, the one or two of you out there that probably aren't watching this, there's a sequel coming November 15th straight to video, so check it out. I'm sure you're super excited about that. Anyway, moving on. This is the hard-hitting news here. This is the news that everybody's here for. This right here, this next story. I was thoroughly just blown away by this. It has been it is official. It has been reported that the Super Mario Brothers movie, the one coming out, Chris Pratt, Jack Black, and all that, will be rated PG. This is news, people.
You mean there's no sex scene in this movie? You
I
never
know.
hear Mario go,
The Bowser
"Woohoo!"
Peach sex scene,
Ugh.
rape scene has been deleted. It's a deleted scene. We'll have to find it on the dark web. But this is apparently news that it's going to be rated PG. Did anybody think it was going to be rated anything other than PG? Maybe G. I didn't think it was going to be G, but is this a surprise? Why is this even
no.
newsworthy? I guess
Because anal? I don't know.
yeah, because anal. That's why. Yeah. So I mean, if I guess anybody out there who is really into the rating system and afraid to take your, wondering, should I take my children to see this? You're safe as long as you go with them because they need parental guidance for this one. But yeah, it's gonna be rated PG.
I wonder what's gonna make it PG. Is it the death of the Goombas? Is it the death of the Koopas when Mario jumps on them? Is Toad having a wild party? He is a treasure tracker, so he's looking for the gold of booty. He's looking for booty, so
I'm gonna assume it's light cartoonish violence or something like that. I never thought this movie was going to be rated anything other than that, but whatever.
Yeah.
There it is. I think the first one was rated PG-13.
Was it?
The Bob
I thought it was rated R for ridiculously stupid.
Hey. I like that movie, okay?
I know. It's
I
fine.
appreciate that movie for what it is. They swung big. They failed big too. They missed
swing high,
big,
Daryl.
but I still like it. I still like that movie. I fully acknowledge it's not a good movie, but the extended edition was just more of not good. But
Yeah.
anyway. All right, so yeah, Super Mario Bros. Is going to be PG. There you go, people. Now, this next thing, this actually got me excited when I first read the byline, and then my hopes and dreams were crushed. I was like, fuck. Mortal Kombat is getting an official RPG. And I thought, that could be cool. Because one of the Mortal Kombats from the like Xbox and the 360 and like PS2 era is either Deception, or the other one that came out right around the same time. I can't remember. Mortal Kombat for a while there was having like all these like extra mini games in there, like kart racing and Mortal Kombat chess and shit like that. Well, one of them, they all have like a story mode now, but one of them had like an adventure RPG storyline in it where you ran around an open world, and it was basic, but it was pretty cool. Like the bones were there. I was like, this is a cool idea. I want them to expand upon this. You still fight, like you go around and do RPG stuff and talk to characters and stuff like that and do tasks, and then every now and then you would fight, have a regular Mortal Kombat fight. It's a pretty cool idea. So when I read this, I was like, oh, this is that thing. It's gonna be that evolution that I was wanting, because I played that thing all the way to the end. Yeah, it's a mobile game. It's coming from NetherRealm. It is an official game coming from NetherRealm, the makers of Mortal Kombat, but it's a mobile game. I was so disappointed. I stopped reading it at that point. It pissed me off so much, though, I put it on here. I actually had it on here. I copy and pasted the link over before I even read it. And I was like, oh, yeah, go talk about that. And then I was like, oh, fuck. So, but yeah, if you're Mortal Kombat fans and phone fans, you're going to have a MK RPG of sorts. I have no idea what it is. But there's going to be... It's coming soon. Real soon. What about... Nick, you got to understand, I don't hold phone games. I have nothing against them, but I don't hold them in the highest regard, and I don't really find much interest in them. What do you think of this? Do you think this is a good thing? I can't hear you. That might be me.
Sorry, when I cough, I turn my mic off. Yeah. No, I mean, if somebody gets enjoyment out of it, sure. What the fuck? I don't give a shit. You know, it's one of those things where I played a couple games mobile that I have found fun, but you know, it's not where I game at. I don't feel like doing free to play model bullshit where they tax you and rape you with money, taking out your wallet every 5 seconds. Nah, I'm not all about that, but. There was a game on mobile that I played. There was an Annapurna game, which I thought was really good. But if somebody finds enjoyment out of this, sure, Warner Bros. Is gonna make a lot of money off of it, I'm sure.
But why couldn't they make an official, like not official, but a big, like a console or PC version, or something like really deep? That could be really cool, because there's so much lore in the Mortal Kombat universe. This would be a cool idea to have a fleshed out RPG Mortal Kombat. That could be really fucking cool, because there's tons of story there. I mean, it is a basic ass fighting game, but it is over the years just developed this really deep lore with all these movies and all the kinds of cool shit. This could be cool.
I won't play any RPG until they do the Legend of Ermac.
Get the fuck out of here. Anyway,
was that what it was called? Ermac? Was that the error code?
Was the character that they actually came up with because a lot of the fans found a setting in Mortal Kombat 2 or 3, I can't remember. In the BIOS, there was an Ermac setting, and it was not a character, but it was for something else. It was just what they called it, and fans were like, oh, it's a character. They created this character more or less, so then they put him in there. So. But he's a main character now. But yeah, I play mobile games like when I'm waiting in line somewhere. I'm waiting in line to pick up my kids from school, or like at the DMV or something. That's when I play mobile games.
Can we talk about this real quick? I just want to throw this out there. I love me some Tetris. I love me some, Sudoku on the plane, or waiting, like you said, waiting in the line for the DMV. Why does Tetris only allowed to be played on phone through internet connection? Can I just play Tetris? You have to have an internet connection to play EA's Tetris. Yeah, it's ridiculous. That's why I fucking hate phone games. Just give me a game that I can play on the plane that I don't have to have internet connection for.
That's fucking stupid. But no, I haven't played that. I played Tetris the other day. I bought Tetris on my I have a Famicom, the Japanese NES. And I bought two Mario Brothers games and Tetris. I played OG Tetris on that the other day. The controls were fucking backwards, and it kept fucking me up. I can't remember what it was, but something about it, I was like, oh, this is frustrating, because it kept on slamming the blocks down, and I was like, no, that's not what I hit. Damn it. I think you have to hit up and down to switch, to turn the blocks, and then you hit a button to slam it down. And in most cases that I've ever played Tetris, you hit the button to kind of cycle through, and then you hit down and it'll slam it down, or you can speed up. There's no speeding up. There's what it's doing, and it's slammed all the way to the fucking ground. It's really fucking weird. But granted, this version came out in 1983. But anyway, whatever. Mortal Kombat RPG phones. There you go. It's coming out next year. So yay. Not a big deal. I mean, it may end up being a big deal, but the Safdie brothers have a new movie starring Adam Sandler. It's not yet titled. It is coming to Netflix, so Netflix picked that up. So, in other words, the guys who made Uncut Gems, their follow up to that. When I say follow up, I don't mean like sequel, because I think
Yeah.
I actually haven't seen the end of that movie, but I know what happens. So I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
it's not
it's
a
a
sequel to
it's
that.
a, that movie's rough, man. Like I'm not a huge fan of it, but that ending's like, oh, whoa.
Yeah, I watched like
Okay,
half of
I
it.
need to take a shower now.
I watched like half of it, and I didn't hate it, but it really just wasn't doing it for me. And I'd heard so much
Yeah.
about it, and that maybe one of them cases where I'd heard such great things about it. When I finally watched it, I was like, it's fine, but their movies are kind of dirty. Like the other one with Robert Pattinson, was it
Good time,
Good Times? Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
too. But anyway, if you were into Uncut Gems, they got another one from all those creators coming to Netflix at some point. It does not say when. Here's one. I'm interested. I'm curious what you think of this. Black Panther. They are saying, or Black Panther Wakanda Forever. They are saying that is now aiming for $175 million opening weekend. Now, there's a couple of questions I have on this, and you may be able to answer them. One of them. First thing I have is this opening worldwide at the same time? Do you know? Or is it just in America? Is there a staggered release?
If it's Marvel, I think they tend to open the Marvel movies like a week early overseas for some reason. Because they apparently don't care about America very much anymore, so they're just like open it overseas. I don't know if it's gonna have China. I don't
Yeah,
know if
that's what I
China's
think.
gonna have it, but
China has been really anti-Marvel lately, so I'm wondering if it's
yeah,
going there.
yeah,
But so it's going to be worldwide within around about the same time.
yeah. The 7th of November or some shit.
Okay. Real quick before we go on to that, everybody, I'm having to use a different version of the software we use.
Oh, actually, if we cut out, I mean, if you want to go to, I think she's on us
Oh, a
the
link.
yeah, I can get that too. So if you want to go to break or something like that or whatever.
Um. Yeah. Well, let's talk about this real quick, and then we'll take a
Yeah,
quick a minute and a half break, or we're gonna get time to. Everybody's probably like, "What are you talking about?" We're using a different account to
yeah.
speak to each other, and it told me, and we have 10 minutes before it times out, which is fucking stupid. But we have a paid one, but I couldn't log into it. But anyway, yeah, Black Panther's supposed to hit one. They're estimating $175 million opening weekend, not week, but weekend. Do you think it's gonna hit that?
Absolutely. It's Black Panther. The last movie made $800 million, and though Chadwick Boseman is now 6 feet underground, this is a movie that's highly anticipated. People are going to wonder what Namor's like. People are going to wonder how they're going to handle the idea of Chadwick Boseman, and yeah, it's going to make 175, maybe $200 million because it is Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. So
I 100% agree. Now, that is not
yeah,
me saying that I think this movie is going to be a good quality movie. I have no idea. I'm not saying it's not. But I think regardless. Now, admittedly, I know some people, you can't say anything bad about Black Panther. I
no,
I'm
I didn't like the last movie. It was fine.
Yeah, I thought the last movie was. I did not think the last movie was as amazing as everybody else did. But hey, you know what? I understand some people have a connection to that character. I probably don't. Much like
Yeah,
Black Adam, I just didn't know anything about that character prior to the movie. I thought the movie was fine. It was a Marvel movie. I didn't think it was any better than some of the other ones of its same ilk. It was better than some of them, yeah, but I didn't think it was like a monumental movie. It was fine. It was good. I mean, I was entertained by it. But you to hear some people talk about it, it's like the best Marvel movie ever made. That's a bit of a stretch. I understand Chadwick Boseman, unfortunately, what happened to him, but it doesn't change the fact that movie I just thought was good. It was solid, very
yeah,
solid.
yeah. It's not like Phase 4. So
No, but now there's the thing is now what Marvel's putting out nowadays, I don't have a lot of faith in, and this is coming out during that time. So yeah, that makes me. I am questioning the quality of it, but we'll see. Maybe this will be the first Marvel movie that we've gotten in quite a while that'll actually be really good. I don't. I really have no idea. But I will say that regardless of that quality, it could be an absolute dog shit movie, which will be interesting. I don't want it to. I want it to be a good movie, but it would be very interesting if the movie ends up just being objectively bad. Like if we see it, and we're like, this is a fucking mess. How many people are going to like? I think eventually they will, but Do you think people are going to immediately stand up and say, "Hey, man, this sucks. The memory of Chadwick Boseman and all, I respect, and I respect what they were trying to do here or there. But if the movie sucks, are people going to be hesitant to call it out right away?"
No, of course not. It's Marvel. They don't call shit out for nothing.
Yeah, well,
As I've learned,
the stands will say it's great regardless.
Yeah, as I've learned from YouTube and Twitter, there is no bad Marvel movie. Only people that don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, all Marvel movies are amazing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll be honest with you. You and I, a few other people, if this movie's bad, we'll tell it's bad. I have no problem saying if a movie's bad or not. I've seen some movies that I've been anticipating that I thought were shit. And I saw some movies I thought were gonna be shit that I thought were good. So.
Oh, for sure.
Is what it is.
I mean, if the movie sucks,
Marvel's not. Yeah, Marvel's not. Whatever that word is called, to the whole nature.
Well, but I guess where I was going with that kind of went off on a tangent there for a second. Regardless of the quality of this movie, I absolutely could see it hitting 175 million in its opening weekend, especially if it's worldwide for sure. Absolutely,
dude,
that's low.
No joke. I'm moving to Orlando, right? And one of the theaters in the Disney theater up in Orlando has a 500 seat theater. It's a huge theater, sold out. First showing sold out. So if that makes it any justification.
Oh yeah, it's yeah. This is gonna be like on the level of Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah,
like it's gonna do that kind of money for sure. I do wonder if it's gonna, because Marvel movies tend to come out swinging, and make big bank, and then just kind of like fall off.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if it'll do that, if it'll have legs, but who knows? I mean, I have no idea. I think that I also wonder if the movie is crap, will that affect its overall? It's gonna make money either way. It will be a profitable film, but I do wonder if like word of mouth long term, will it affect its overall run? Like if it's a good movie, I guess, will the quality affect how much money overall this movie will make? Or will it just be able to ride out that it's Black Panther?
Yeah.
I don't know. But 175 million? Absolutely. If it doesn't make 175 million worldwide in its opening weekend, I'll be shocked, honestly. Yeah. I feel like that's almost not super low, but a conservative estimate.
If it makes anything less than 400 worldwide, I'll be surprised.
Oh. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially I doubt it's going to China. I don't know. I haven't seen it. Marvel movies haven't been going to China lately. And that's a big market, but if it goes to China, absolutely. But anywho, Black Panther, let us know what you guys think. Do you think, are you looking forward to it? Do you think it's going to be a good quality movie? And do you think it hit 175? Okay. We got two little small stories to talk about. But before we do that, guys, let me put you all on hold real quick. Me and Nick are going to step away for just a second and be right back, and you won't even know there's a difference. We will be right back in just a moment. In the meantime, in between time, where's my button? I'm trying to make this seem seamless. Here we go.
I'm going to do magic.
Enjoy some music in the interim. we're back.
I popped in.
And you can't, yeah, I don't know what was going on there, but, and you can't even tell a difference. So sorry about that little break there, guys, but I didn't want it to we were going to have to break either way. So anyway, all right, let's move on. And so we can get into our big stories of the day. We're already 40 minutes into this thing, even though I know we started late. I was having some technical issues. These last two are interesting. I'm not going to go into the whole story, but Bayonetta actor, Helena Taylor, she is the woman. Bayonetta 3 is a game, just came out. It's the third game in the series, for those of you that don't know. And the character is been voiced by Helena Taylor, is the voice actor's name. That's who's been doing the voice for the past two games. When they were coming out with this third one, she put this big thing out saying right before the game came out that, hey, I'm not in the next game. They lowballed me. And they offered me something like $4,000 to do the whole game as like the main character. Now, Bayonetta is a big game or a popular series, so yeah, that seems low to record all the dialogue in the game. So she was calling for a boycott of this game. Boycott the game, and people were doing it. People were shitting all over the developer just based on what this one person said. She didn't have any receipts or anything. She was just saying, hey, this is what they did to me. Nobody went and said, hey, Platinum Games, they're the ones who make the game. What's going on here? Nobody waited. Everybody just immediately jumped on the bandwagon and started tearing into them. Well, that was a bad idea because now stuff has come out and shown that bitch was lying. She was lying her ass off. Not only was she offered somewhere closer to about $15,000 to $20,000 to do it, because it was over the course, it was $4,000 to $5,000 per session for around 5 or more sessions. So she could have, come out even over $20,000 to voice all this. But also, even after she denied them that and said, no, I don't want to do it, they came back after they had already recorded all the dialogue with Jen Taylor, another famous voice actress who does video games, and asked Helena, hey, how about a cameo? One session, we'll just have your voice cameo for the fans. So there was like no hard feelings there on their behalf. And they're saying, how about a cameo? We'll pay you $4,000 for this one session to do these few cameo lines. So she's actually being overpaid at that point. So this bitch gonna sit here and talk about boycott this game, and it was like a big deal. It was going on, and people were outright like canceling pre-orders, shitting all over the developer in the game, and all this and that. And she was just lying the whole fucking time. Nick, you know anything? You heard anything about this? What do you think of this?
I heard the original story. I didn't know there was progress on the story.
Oh yeah, she's like deleted comments and like left the internet pretty much.
Oh my god. We talked about this before. Sometimes you got to wait for the whole story to come out before you judge. So if we had talked about the story like last week or whenever it aired, we might have said something different. So I'm glad that the whole story came out, and it's kind of fucked up when you blame a studio saying they did this and this and this, and you're just all of a sudden lying about it. It's like, the studio, was it Platinum? Is it Platinum who puts out Bayonetta?
It's Platinum.
Yeah, Platinum Games. I don't see them doing something like that. I don't know. I just sometimes my mind is just like, why do people do this? They do it for clout and attention. It's like that Dan's Gaming channel that was leaking like pertinent information that he shouldn't have been leaking and got thrown under the bus, or not thrown under the bus. He got himself in trouble for it. It's just like people want attention, and then they want people to feel sorry for them. Then they lie to you. It's like, what the fuck are you thinking? That's like if you had put out a video and made, like you put out a video with both of us, like for this, and I'm like, oh, he only paid me like $10, which I'm not saying you did that, but I'm just saying like you paid me $10 and it's really, no, you pay me $50. It's like, what the fuck are you thinking? It's such bullshit. It's like,
well, even worse than that, it's not even so bad. I mean, it is bad that she said it to begin with, but then she took it further and started calling for an actual boycott, which did actually start to happen, and people actually
nonsense.
They lost money on this. Nobody was listening. Now, this is going to play into this whole mindset of believing, oh, one person said it must be true. We're going to talk about that in a big story here in a few minutes. So that's really why I included this, because the story's pretty much over. This happened, and this all came out, and everybody was like, oh. Because there were people that were going hard on her, other content creators, and now they're backtracking. And they're like, and they feel really fucking dumb. So I am glad we didn't talk
Wait,
about
they
this.
were going hard on like her side. They were like,
Yeah, on her side
her corner.
originally saying, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
fuck this game and fuck them," and talking all kinds of shit. Now there were a handful, a very small handful of creators that were saying, "Hey, we probably need to wait and hear the whole story." And I feel as if we had covered this story last week or whatever. I did see it last week, but I didn't talk about it because I didn't. With all the information wasn't there. But if we had, because we've covered stories before, the Tiffany Haddish one.
Yeah.
And I would have said I would talk about those things like any other thing like that because me myself at least, I'm not perfect, but I understand how these things work. I would have said, if this is true, this is fucked up. That's not cool at all. But I would have also said, I don't know. I don't have all the facts. We have not even heard them say anything. The worst thing I probably would have said was, why haven't they said something yet? But I guess it's because they were being strategic and they were like, well, let me get all my shit together before I talk. Because when they talked, they put it all out there and she just got decimated. And it was total bullshit. And there was nothing she could say. She just left the internet. So, because this is like pretty much, it's confirmed. Yeah, she was fucking lying. They showed the messages and everything where they offered her stuff. And they even came on there talking about, why is she acting like this? We thought everything was cool. We even asked her to come back for a cameo. We wouldn't have asked her that if they had, if they had issue, but whatever. So yeah, just listen to both sides. Don't always believe the first thing that comes out of somebody's mouth. I think it's a big problem with our society right now. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. All right, so the last little story we got. This is I found to be pretty funny. It was almost a big story, but there's just not much to talk about it. It's more just a let's laugh about it. Lawrence Fishburne. We know Lawrence Fishburne. He's a pretty cool guy. He was Morpheus in The Matrix 1, 2, and 3.
He said water is wet.
Yeah. But you know what Lawrence Fishburne wasn't in? The Matrix Resurrections. The Matrix
God,
4.
I wish he had been.
Oh, no. I don't know. He doesn't. If you ask him,
No.
because he was, it's well known now, and I'm not spoiling any, or I mean, I am spoiling something if you haven't seen the movie, but it's been out there. The character of Morpheus in Matrix 4, Matrix Resurrections, that came out at the end of last year, he is in the movie, but he is not played by Lawrence Fishburne. And everybody was like, why isn't Lawrence Fishburne here? Now, they give a half-assed reason in the movie, but given there's some other returning characters, I don't fully accept that. But the character is there. He's played by Abdul Mateen II. Is that his name?
Yeah.
The guy who played Candyman and the Black Manta. But so Morpheus, the character, is there. Lawrence Fishburne is not. He's a mainstay in The Matrix. Well, over a year later, Lawrence Fishburne's in a new movie, and while he was doing the red carpet stuff for that, a reporter said, hey, I'm going to ask him about The Matrix, and said, hey, man, have you seen The Matrix Resurrections? You weren't in it. What did you think? And he said, in regards to that, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. And you can see the video of this, by the way. And his inflection of it all is great. He said, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. And it wasn't as good as I hoped it would be. And he said, I thought Carrie Ann and Keanu really did their thing. Yeah, that's what I thought. So he leaves it there, right? And he's just being diplomatic. That is an extremely diplomatic, very respectful response. But then the guy kept pushing, and he said, "Do you regret not?" Because he said, "Hey, why weren't you in it?" And he was like, "Well, I never got the call. They never called. They never asked him to be in it." He said, "Do you regret not being in The Matrix 4?" He said, "No, not really." that is verbatim. He said no, and he kind of gives a little bit of a laugh when the guy says it. He goes, "No, not really," and that's the end of the interview. You can see the video on there.
Do you think when he was filming John Wick 3, Keanu goes up to him, he's like, look, man, we're doing another Matrix movie. You want to be in it? He's like, nah, man.
I think I'm
He's like, I got birds now. I don't need no fucking Matrix.
I'm cool. No, I mean, if you ask him, he was never even asked. They didn't even call. And they do give a reason in the movie because it's like so much longer later. But Jada Pinkett Smith's character is still alive in there, so he could have been.
It's dumb. I'm just gonna say it's dumb. We'll just say it's dumb.
It is. I actually if you go back and look at my review of that film, it is. much nicer than I would be now. Because I ain't gonna lie, over time, my view of that film has lessened. I've fallen more in line with Nick. I don't think I hated it as much as you did. You really hated it.
Oh
But
God, yes.
I
Worst movie of the year.
definitely do not
One of
view it as favorably as I did when I first saw it. I think I had some, like, fan goggles on when I first saw it. Phantom Menace kind of situation where, oh, yeah, I mean, it wasn't that bad. It's that kind of situation. I mean, I think everything I said in my review is still accurate, but I think the negatives I probably would have weighed into a little bit more and the positives a bit less, honestly. But
Everything was accurate except everything you said.
yeah, there you go. So, yeah, Lawrence Fishburne's like, no, I'm cool with missing out on that. Now, I will say another missing character that was a big one was Hugo Weaving, who was Agent Smith, and that character, or actor, that character was in the movie as well. That's another one people were like, why wasn't he there? Apparently, he was asked to come back. And he said, according to him, he said he was going to do it, but he had scheduling conflicts, and he was unable to join. Okay, that happens. I get it.
Yeah.
But what the fuck has Hugo Weaving been in? What movie conflicted with The Matrix 4? Because I ain't seen shit that Hugo Weaving's been in recently. I could be wrong. But I feel like if he really wanted to be in that movie, he could have been. I think he used that. I think he was like, no, I hear about what you're doing. No, I got some other things going on. Unfortunately, I can't get in on this thing.
He probably got the script and like, nah, I'm out. I'm gonna go be with the birds.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I don't know. I'm gonna go be a MVB for Vendetta again or whatever.
No, I can't, unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to join you guys. I'm sorry. Well, we're gonna change it to like I'm not available that week. Well, we're gonna change it to the week after that. I'm not available that week either.
I'm available in January. Are you sure? No, actually, I changed my mind.
I feel like it was like somebody who, like when you ask somebody to move and they keep on coming up with the reasons as to why they can't help you move. Everybody's asked somebody to move and had that person that's like, I got a thing going on. Well, we can do it tomorrow. I got a thing. Shit, I just saw it. My bad, man. I got something then too. I gotta work. my mom died. Anyway, there it is, ladies and gents. That's the small little story. It's just kind of not as formal as usual. That anything on here is formal, but whatever. But that was probably more. Last week I didn't have it, or Wednesday I didn't have any. So. There's something, but I did want to. I wanted to talk about those little things. I thought some of them were interesting. I thought you'd like that Matrix one. That's why.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into our. Let's close that. Before we jump into our first story, what are you guys saying over here in the comments? Looks like Fright and Triv's here from Trivial Heater. She's in the chat. Everybody say hi, Triv. I see something about a sausage party. I wasn't following that. Magical. Definitely not a fan of Jada Pinkett Smith. She sucks balls. I hate her. Damn. Tell us how you really feel, Magical. I get. Oh yeah. I guess since the slap thing, yeah. She is an interesting. We'll say that. I think they have enough of the Matrix. He was okay, I guess, back in the day. Not that big a fan of Lawrence Fishburne, says Magical. Oh, really? But you may be confusing him with Samuel L. Jackson. I thought about when I was gonna do this story. That story is like a main story. I was gonna put a picture of Samuel L. Jackson up in the background and see if anybody got it. But then I was like, well, some people might not get it and think I'm just that idiot, so I didn't do it. For those of you that don't know, was it? Yeah, it was Samuel L. Jackson. They did it to, right? They were asking him about being in the Matrix, and he was like, "I wasn't in. I don't know."
Oh,
because they got him and it was on some famous thing.
I know Will Smith was like turned it down to do Wild Wild West. I'm like, what an idiot.
Yeah. Will Smith was asked to be Neo apparently at one point. Damn, I bet he regrets the fuck out of that. I don't. I couldn't imagine Will Smith in that role, but
no.
Whatever. All right, let's jump into our first major main story of the day, and that would be Kevin Spacey. Ooh. Oh no.
Yes.
Oh no. Oh no.
Where's my Pac-Man picture? Son of a bitch.
Everybody calm down. Everybody calm down. Calm the fuck down, okay? We're going to talk about Kevin Spacey for a minute. Now, I typically try and stay away from, like, really spicy things, like the whole Amber Heard, Johnny Depp thing. And, when people, you'll notice also I don't talk about when people pass away a lot of the times. I don't bring it up on the show. I try and keep things positive-ish on the show. This is one, though, honestly, there wasn't a ton of stuff going on since Wednesday, so I was kind of needing something to talk about. But also, there was a point to this whole thing I want to talk about. Now, Kevin Spacey has had, as many of you know, had a lot of accusations lobbed at him. I believe it was around 2016, or maybe it was a little later than that.
Yeah, it started that Me Too movement, like with
Yeah.
Harvey Keitel or whatever his name is.
Yeah, Harvey Weinstein. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Harvey Weinstein.
He was lots of allegations, sexual abuse and things like that, many of which were from younger men, I believe, or younger boys, even in this case a young boy, throughout his career, and saying he had some deplorable behavior. And ultimately what it did, almost overnight, it like took not even a full week, this guy was wiped off the earth. He was like at the top of his game. He was on House of Cards, which was a huge show at the time. He had been in like Baby Driver, and he was in lots of movies. He had movies scheduled. He had already shot some that I think, that one movie,
the Christopher Plummer replacement.
All the Money in the World, is that what it was called?
Yeah.
They straight CGI removed his ass from the fucking movie and replaced him with Christopher Plummer, who was nominated for an Academy Award, I think, wasn't he? Was that? Did he get nominated? I don't know.
Yeah. No, they gave. I think they did out of spite. I think they gave Christopher Plummer the nomination out of spite for that one. Yeah. Because that was not a good movie. I don't know what they were thinking, but that was not a good movie anyway. So
they did a good job removing him from what I saw. I haven't seen the movie. I had no interest in it, but the scenes I saw, I was like, oh, I can't even tell. And Christopher Plummer is old. Kevin Spacey wasn't. He was wearing makeup. Honestly, Christopher Plummer looked better. But anyway, they removed the trailer off the internet because the original trailer showed Kevin Spacey in it. Like, they removed Kevin Spacey from the earth. He did a few months back. There was a report that he was actually, I don't know if he actually made it or not, but there was an independent movie being made, and he was joining the cast of that, and he was trying to have a comeback, and people were like, no, sexual predator, you stay gone. Now, here's the thing. None of this stuff has been substantiated. It was all just people saying stuff on the internet. Allegations, if you will. And while allegations can get us all riled up, the fact of the matter is they are just allegations. That's one person's side of it all. He has denied all of this stuff. And I'm not an expert here. I don't know all this stuff. And there are other cases, on top of this one we're about to talk about, that are still ongoing. Now, this particular one is gone to court. Now, my problem with a lot of these allegations we see, they never go to court. A lot of them don't go to court. It's just people say it, the person's canceled, and there's never any legal anything. So I'm like, how if this happened, why would you not go to take them to court or something? So, yeah, they did take him to court here. And I think there's one or two other cases that are pending. Now, we'll give Kevin Spacey this. One of them is in the UK. So all he had to do was not go to the UK. That's it. They can't extradite him. They're not going to over this. Right. He went. They set up the thing. He showed up to court for the opening, whatever they do. He showed up in court on that day, and he didn't have to. So that kind of did make me go, if he knows he's guilty, and he I mean, if there's that fear of being trapped, because this thing that the particular charge over in the UK, I know, it carries a hefty jail sentence. It's not like just a fine or something. It's a criminal charge over there. So, but he showed up. So I was like, well, that's interesting that he showed up. And he showed up like twice, I think, or something like that. I don't know all the details there, so don't quote me on that. Well, this one was here in the U.S., and this is actually one of the first ones that was lobbed at him that was actually taken to court by another actor named Anthony Rapp, who was playing with him in a movie. I'm not sure. He was acting with, or no, it was at a party. And this is all the way back to the 80s, 1986. But Rapp alleged that Spacey climbed on top of him at a party in New York City in 1986 when Rapp was 14 years old and Spacey was 26. Rapp testified that the alleged encounter was the most traumatic single event of his life. All right. I mean, that at 14, that would be fucked up. I get it. And took him to court over that. Well, apparently, as of, I think, yesterday or the day before, the federal jury in Kevin Spacey's sexual abuse trial found that Oscar-winning actor is not liable for battery against Star Trek Discovery star Anthony Rapp. So he was found essentially not guilty for this instance, which is one of the 3, I believe.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Spacey's attorney, Jennifer Keller, said, "I am grateful to the jury for seeing through these false allegations." Of course, that's normal. That's what lawyers say. Now, Rapp said he was deeply grateful for the opportunity to have my case heard before a jury, and I thank the members of the jury for their service. Okay, he didn't sound angry or anything. There were no big outbursts in court. He continued by saying, bringing this lawsuit was always about shining a light as part of the larger movement to stand up against all forms of sexual violence. And he vows to continue to advocate for a world that is free from sexual violence of any kind. Well, that's great, and I'm not going to sit here and make calls and judgments on people's character and all that, but I will say that a group of, I think it was 5 men, 5 women, a jury of his peers found that he wasn't guilty and he didn't do this stuff. So in turn, that means, according to them, according to our judicial system, you lied. What do you think?
I don't know. Yeah, that's what they say, but it's I don't know. It's such a touchy subject. Yeah, I want to say that I don't respect Kevin Spacey because he's done some things recently in the past few years that kind of makes him suspect. But you're innocent until proven guilty, and they proved him, I guess, innocent.
Well,
I don't know.
That's the problem. Or that's the thing. Now, I am not sitting here saying that Kevin Spacey is or is not guilty of these crimes. I have no fucking clue. Let's go ahead and put that out there.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta have to look at it that way. Yeah.
I have no clue. But the fact of the matter is that he was guilty until proven innocent. And even at this point, we have gone years now thinking Kevin Spacey was this evil, child-abusing sexual predator. Now, when we hear this saying, hey, no, okay, in this case at least, no, he didn't do it. Well, the jury says he didn't do it. So it's like, it's difficult to sit here and say, okay, so is Kevin Spacey not that? We've seen him that way for so long. But then when you start thinking of it, what is the proof? Why do we think that? Is it just because it's been being said by everybody, or that we've seen, like, evidence saying that that's the case? I don't know. Once again, I mean, this is a tough one because you are talking about a child who was allegedly molested to a degree by a grown adult, and there's other charges lobbed at him. But I've also seen in the past that charges are lobbed at one person, then other people are like, ooh, I'm going to jump up on that. Could it be that? I don't know. No idea. I don't know if Kevin Spacey did this or not. I can only go off of what this trial happened, and they said he's not guilty. I mean, that's that's all I could go on. So I got to take their word for it on that. Now, I will be interested to see what happens with the other 2 or 3 cases. If they all come up not guilty, that's a pattern. If some of them come up guilty and some of them don't, then it's kind of like, okay, are you guilty or not? I don't know. This is a tough one overall. I don't know fully how to. I mean,
yeah, it's such a it's one of those things where you go, should you kind of back away from the situation? Should you continue your feelings about what? It's just, we live in a world where some people who were found guilty were, of course, innocent. Some people who were innocent were found guilty.
Definitely.
So I'm not saying like Kevin Spacey's guilty, but it's just been such a whirlwind of shit in the last 8 years now or 7 years or whatever it's been. It's hard to disseminate facts.
There's definitely people that get found guilty or not guilty that we're just like, yes, they are.
Yeah.
There's one really big case from the 90s that I think most people still agree that he did that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, but on the flip side of that, I have to put some type of faith in the judicial system, and I mean, because I have nothing else to go on. That's the thing. I mean, and I do wonder, are my feelings towards Kevin Spacey based upon that I have just over all this time, like everyone else, heard, yes, Kevin Spacey did it, he 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 did it, and now someone's saying, well, no, he didn't. I don't know. If he didn't, I will say this much. And this goes to anybody who's had allegations lobbed at them, be they whether they go to court or not, if he didn't do it, this definitely ruined his career. And
yeah,
his
just
life.
a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit.
What I would like to see, and if someone did these types of things, they absolutely should get everything thrown at them. They should go. They should go to court, and it should be handled there, and it should be, we should see what happens, and that's what everybody should wait for. But if they are found, I know me, if I was accused of these things and my whole life was ruined like that, I was on the top and I was knocked below the bottom because of these allegations. When it came out, legally at least, that I didn't do it, I'd be saying, now I want reparations. Now I want to go after these people that fucking did it. So I want to know, what are they going to do in that respect? Because, I mean, if nothing else, look at the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. I think both of them had some things to do. I just think she did more. Because she did some fucked up thing. I don't think Johnny Depp is a saint.
She'd be pooping on beds and shit. Come on.
I don't think Johnny Depp was a saint, but based on what I saw and heard, I think she was kind of, she probably did a little bit more. But when these people do this and ruin these people's lives, there should be some type of repercussions when it comes out that, oh, you know what, you fucking lied about that. Once again, I don't know if Rapp lied or not. Can't say. I can only go off of what the trial said here. But it's a sticky situation all around. But I do think that there needs to be some more laws put in place for people, for there to be repercussions for people that do make false allegations. Because right now, I don't feel like there are. People just make allegations, ruin people's lives, and oh well, moving on to the next.
That's the internet for you.
Yeah, and that's
Jake. I'm coming to ruin your reputation. I'm gonna
take all your much. I feel like they usually do that.
I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird situation. It's like, what do you believe? That type of thing. So
yeah, and that I'm going to say I don't know what to believe because I don't have all the facts. I do not know enough about all of this. I've not looked into it and researched it enough to really make a determination. I just know that a court of his peers, or a jury of his peers rather, found him not guilty. At least this time. We'll see what happens. I mean, like I said, if he goes through these other 3 or 2 or whatever it is that are lodged against him, and they find him not guilty, I'm gonna kind of be like, okay, maybe we look at this a little bit closer now. If everybody keeps finding him not guilty now, that's not to say that everybody who's found not guilty is not guilty, but Anyway, what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. Do you think Kevin Spacey did it? Do you think this is all bullshit? Do you think he's going to be found guilty of any of these other charges that have been lobbed at him? Or do you think it was all a farce? Do you think he was wrongfully accused and that he should come back? Because he was on top. He was on top and just, bam, knocked the fuck down. But, hey, if he did all that shit, he deserved it. But let us know in the comments below what you guys thought. Alrighty, moving on to the next
Hey,
thing.
I have breaking news.
Uh-oh, what?
We're 56 days from Avatar: The Way of Water, and tickets should be going on sale early next month.
Whoop, whoop. I've got a little thing, a notification that's supposed to tell me as soon as they go on sale. So I can buy all the tickets.
Yeah, you're going to buy the whole theater's worth of tickets.
I'm going to buy every theater in my area's tickets.
That's not really breaking news. We all knew it was coming. The tickets were going on sale soon. So,
for no apparent reason, I'm just going to buy all the tickets because and give them away to homeless people. Come see Avatar.
There you go.
Enlighten your life. Anyway, all right. Well, that's good to hear. I'm looking forward to Avatar. I hope Avatar is at the very end of the year. I'm really hoping Avatar takes me out of this year on a high. We'll see. All right, so our next little story here, or big story. This is a cool one that I don't know as much about, but I know about some of it. The John Wick director is making Black Samurai, an adaptation. Now, if you, like me, have no idea what the fuck Black Samurai is, I thought they were talking about...
Black Dynamite?
No, I love Black Dynamite. No, the Samurai Jack. Isn't that the?
Oh, okay.
No, Afro Samurai. That's who I thought.
Oh, yeah.
I thought this was going to be a live action Afro Samurai. Apparently, no. I am incorrect. That is not what this is. Black Samurai is a thing, a book series and a film series. So let's dig a little deeper. Chad Stahelski, which is the director of the John Wick, I think all 3 John Wick movies, has just been tapped to direct the upcoming Black Samurai movie for Netflix. Stahelski is teaming up with Lee Dana Jackson to write the script, which will be an adaptation of Mark Olden's Black Samurai novel series. Excuse me. Netflix hasn't provided much information regarding the film, but the Black Samurai book series, is comprised of 8 novels, all blaxploitation stories set in the 1970s, and centered on American soldier Robert Sand, who is on leave in Japan and learns the most powerful forms of martial arts to become the Black Samurai. It's safe to assume that the film will focus on the vengeance plot of the first novel after terrorists butcher Sand's sensei. This is not the first time Olden's story has been given the adaptation treatment, as prolific exploitation director Al Adamson, Psycho A Go-Go, and Dracula vs. Frankenstein, or his films, tried his hand with 1977's Black Samurai. The film starred Jim Kelly, whom martial arts film fans may recognize for his role opposite Bruce Lee in 1973's Enter the Dragon. So yeah, this is an actual thing. Actually, the picture here in the background is from the 1977 film, because there's obviously no pictures of the new one because they haven't even started anything. But Stahelski, or what I butchered that guy's name. That's why I just said John Wick director.
Yeah, Stahelski. Yeah, we'll just go with what you just said.
Yeah, I've enjoyed his films. He made the John Wick movies. He made Extraction. Didn't he make that?
Yeah, Extraction. No, is that the Chris Hemsworth movie?
Yeah, he made that, didn't he?
Maybe. Oh, I think the Russos wrote that. Yeah, I think you're right.
They wrote it, but he directed it. I think. I could be wrong. But anyway.
No. Yeah. Anyways,
I like his films, John Wick movies, if nothing else. I've really enjoyed those films. He knows how to do action. He is a former stuntman, so he is all like up in it, and he knows how to shoot that stuff. Like an old school, maybe a bit more serious than something like Black Dynamite, but like a blaxploitation kind of 70s throwback film with that kind of badass action. I think it'd be really cool. And it's a revenge flick, probably. Everybody loves a revenge flick. I think this could be really, really cool. I mean, it could be a fucking disaster, but I think it could be really cool. Does any of this sound interesting to you, Nick? Or are you like, I don't give a shit?
Yeah, no, I mean, I've always said if the movie looks good, it looks entertaining. It doesn't matter if it's black exploitation or, white vanilla. If it's good, I'll watch it because, I just love watching movies in general. I don't need a specific genre unless it's a country movie or something like that, or a Jesus movie. I don't need those, but when it comes to just movies, like the fun thing about black exploitation movies is they're cheesy, they're fun, and they have heart to them. And if they're going to do this with Chad Stahelski or whatever you call his name is, sure, bring it on. His only problem is he was in the Matrix Resurrections as Chad, so the boyfriend of
really,
or the husband of he played the husband of Trinity in that movie. So
was that him? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was. It was like a when they go in to do it for free type of thing. So
anyways, wasn't he like Keanu Reeves' stunt coordinator or double or something on one of those movies or something like? He knew Keanu Reeves before this.
Yeah, he may have been. Yeah, he was a martial arts stunt coordinator for those series movies. Yeah. But no. But in all honesty, it's I mean, I don't know much about this Black Samurai movie or books or whatever it has been.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if it's gonna be like a badass fucking ninja samurai like or whatever it's gonna be,
Kill Bill,
Kill Bill
situation.
Yeah, if that's what it's gonna be, fuck yeah, I'll bring it on.
That's what I want. No, I said Black Dynamite. I said Black Dynamite a minute ago. That's a bit more comedy. I'd like a Kill Bill vibe where there is some comedy, but it is kind of like a throwback to those blaxploitation films, but still just like really solid badass action. And at times it gets serious. That's what I want. Make that with the action of John Wick. I think that could be awesome. I'd be kind of excited to see that. So I'm interested to see. Excuse me, I'm getting a little sick, everybody. Sorry, but I'd be interested to see what this is going to look like. It'd be really cool. But as of right now, they have nothing else attached to it. They have a producer, a director, and a writer. That's it. So it's coming. It is, like I said, it's
Netflix?
based on it's coming to Netflix. It's based on a series of books that I guess were popular. Now I do know that the guy who wrote the books apparently, Holden, yeah, Olden, Mark Olden, I think is his name.
Yeah.
He was apparently an actual martial artist who had like multi-level black belts and stuff like that. So they're supposed to be pretty authentic to that. I mean, I don't know how you write martial arts, but whatever. It could be cool. I'm looking forward to this. I think it's pretty cool. I will be interested to see what they make here. It's Netflix, so you never know. But Netflix has been on a high lately. They've been putting out some good shit. Like they've had like everybody was talking shit about them last quarter, and they came out swinging. They got like Midnight Club, that Watcher series I haven't seen, but I've been hearing good things about it. Dahmer I thought was pretty good. Stranger Things, of course. They've been putting out some better stuff.
Yeah. And they may have some other things coming up that may be worth your while. I'm not saying, but there might be some other things coming up.
But
no, I didn't say what it was. I'm just saying they might have some. They have an Extraction 2 coming out. So
yeah, they did. That is. No, I did like Extraction. I think because they did say a while back they were going to scale some of it back. I think they came out and said, okay, we've been doing a bit much. We're going to scale the money back some. Not totally. They're still spending money on stuff, but we're not going to just be like throwing money all over the place, just releasing a bunch of shit.
There's no Gray Man $300 million production values. I think they've cut that down. So.
Yeah, they're trying to hone it down, bring it in, and like tighten things up. And I appreciate it. Seems that
like
way.
Tiger. Yeah.
It seems like they're doing something. So that's good.
I'm gonna have to watch this Black Samurai movie now. I really want to watch this now that you've talked about it.
Yeah, the 77 one. I might have to check it out.
Yeah, because it has. Actually, I'm looking at something else, but. This looks fun as fuck. It's only 88 minutes long, so it'd be a quick watch.
Blaxploitation films are always fun, so I might check that out too. But you guys let us know. Have you any of you seen this movie, the original Black Samurai from 1977? Is it cool? Was it cool? Can you see a modernized version of this being cool? Just hearing about it, it sounds like I think so. So let us know if you guys are interested in the comments below in Black Samurai and what all it has to offer. Okay, so all right, that's those. I've got a couple of more stories, but before we get into that, I said at the midpoint we was going to do a review for you guys. Now is the time.
Oh yeah,
we're going to talk about a new movie that's not out. When does this come out, Nick? Is it next Friday?
Next Friday.
Next Friday,
week from today.
So this movie comes out a week from today. Now we can't talk spoilers, but I hadn't planned on it anyway. So what movie am I talking about? Wendell and Wild, the new.
Oh, I thought we were.
Huh?
What? No, I'm just kidding.
Did it?
I was gonna make a joke and I lost the train of thought. So
I was like, I know I told you we were gonna talk about this.
No, I know I'm joking.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to find a joke, but I lost the train of thought. So
it's all good. It's all good. No problem. I just ruined the joke. I'm sorry. But yeah, Wendell and Wild. We got to see this a bit early. It's coming to it's coming to Netflix October 28th. Yeah. It is Henry Selick's new flick. If you weren't familiar with Henry Selick, he has made things such as James and the Giant Peach, Nightmare Before Christmas. Yes, that was not Tim Burton. Tim Burton was an executive producer on it. One of my favorites, Coraline. He made that one as well. Apparently, he did. Did he direct Monkey Bone?
He did. He did direct Monkey. It actually ruined his career.
Yeah, Monkey Bone. I thought was awesome. But
yeah, Coraline was like a favor. Someone pulled a favor for him for Coraline, and then Monkey Bone was like such a disaster because it's like $100 million production or some shit.
Yeah, I do remember Monkey Bone was a huge disaster, but I liked Monkey Bone. I thought Monkey Bone was.
Yeah, it's fine. Brendan Fraser's in it. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean it's weird, but I enjoyed Monkey Bone, but whatever. Coraline was his last film. And that was, I think, was a fantastic movie. It's Neil Gaiman.
Oh yeah, that movie's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a Neil Gaiman story, I believe. Great. Just it looks great. Great visual style, which that's what Selick is mainly known for, is his stop motion visual style. This movie also is stop motion, and it definitely you see Selick's fingerprints all over it. Now this time around, it's not a story written by someone else, but this story is written by. I think he has writing. Yeah, he has writing credit on as well.
Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, it's based on. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say it's between him and Jordan Peele. It's coming from a book by Clay McLeod Chapman.
Yeah, Clay McLeod Chapman. It was a book that never got published, but it was between him and Selick, I guess.
Oh, I didn't know it was never published. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I can say that Jordan Peele, Henry Selick, I see his fingerprints all over this thing, but I also see Jordan Peele in this thing.
Yeah.
There were specific points in the movie that I was like, that's Jordan Peele. And then I was like, that's Henry Selick. But yeah, ultimately, if you look up the synopsis of it, it says, two scheming demon brothers, Wendell and Wild, enlist the aid of 13-year-old Cat Elliott, played by Lyric Ross, to summon them to the land of the living. That is a very basic version of the story. We got Lyric Ross as our main character, Cat. Of course, it has the reteaming of Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele as the titles Wendell and Wild. We've also got James Hong. I'm trying to see if any of these... Ving Rhames, of course. There's a lot of other people in it, of course, lots of other voices, but those are the big voices. Those are the big names that people know. Oh, Angela Bassett, she's in it as well. All right, so this movie, we're not doing a beat by beat or anything. This is just more, I'm wanting to go more of a traditional review, just talk a few minutes of it. I want to give our two thoughts. Because honestly, we watched this movie at the same time, but I don't know what all of Nick's feelings on it are, and he doesn't know what mine are. Because I think both of us were pretty knocked out by the time the end of it came around, and we were like, all right, night.
I actually went back and rewatched this just so I get my thoughts more in check. So
gotcha.
I was really tired that night. Yeah.
I was too. There at the end, I was kind of like,
yeah.
So yeah. Well, the movie is pretty much, we've got the character Kat, played by Lyric Ross, and she is her parents. Well, she is an orphan. And
yeah, I mean,
it's
in the trailer. Yeah, her parents are killed. Yeah, it's in the trailer. So,
well, her parents passed away in the beginning of it. She's had a tough life. She's been in the system as an orphan, and she is now put at this. It's like a Catholic school, kind of. Not kind of. It is a Catholic school, boarding school, and she arrives at this Catholic school, and while there, she gets tangled up in. Some demonic creatures, Wendell and Wild. They become attached to her, if you will, and she starts to want something from them, and they have something to offer, and they want something from her. They want to come to the real world, and she wants them to do a favor for them, and that's the dynamic. But then we have other things, of course, that happen, and we have like some land developers pretty much that get involved and are wanting to do some stuff to this town that they all live in, and just lots of stuff going on there. I'm gonna say my thoughts first real quick. My overall thoughts of this movie. I thought it looked great. It looked fantastic. There's some really interesting things in its look in this movie. It's all stop motion. I thought the stop motion was great. I'm sure there's some assisted CGI here or there, but it all looked like it was straight up stop motion. It may be, I don't know, but so fantastic looking film. When compared to Coraline, now I'm going to compare this movie to Coraline a lot. It just is what it is. It was his last film. It's what I have to compare. Yes, you have Nightmare Before Christmas and all that, but Coraline was my favorite, so I am going to make those comparisons. Is what it is. I thought Coraline looked a little better, not in the animation and all that, but more in some of its more creative aspects. I thought it got a little bit more creative. Not to say this isn't creative. It has some very interesting imagery. But I do think that if you like Coraline's look, you'll like this one as well. Coraline was a little darker. Now, this deals with some dark stuff, for sure, but it's a little bit more comedic. Coraline was a bit darker, in my opinion. It was yeah. This has more a little bit more laughs or attempted laughs. The story, this is where we got problems, in my opinion. I really wanted to like this movie, and there were things about it I liked, but I had a real hard time sticking with it. As I was watching it, it is all over the damn place, like all over, like story narratively. It's just like. Not, like it jumps around. It's like it's got too much stuff going on and it can't commit to one thing. And there were times I was just like so numb to everything that was going on in the movie. I was just like, I don't even know where we're at right now. What's going on? Like it's just I had a real hard time latching on to these characters. I really like Lyric Ross's character, the Cat, the main character. I like her
Yeah.
portrayal. The sister, the nun that Angela Bassett plays, I enjoyed her character. Some of the stuff they do with her character closer to the end, I was like, I wasn't in love with, but I didn't hate. It was fine. But Wendell and Wild, I did not like them as much as I thought I would. It was Key and Peele, and I love them. And I didn't love them here. I didn't hate them, but they felt kind of flat to me, especially being like the title characters. They felt a little flat to me. Also, the movie is very predictable. Even though it is all over the goddamn place, there's nothing here that you're like, oh, catches you off guard. You know it, for me at least, I knew it was going to happen more or less in this movie as it was happening. I mean, in the very beginning, I couldn't have possibly thought what happens at the very end because the movie does like wildly swing all over the place. But as the movie was going on, I was like, this is what's about to happen. This is what's about to happen. I was not surprised by anything. Now I'm going to stop there because that's like I said, my basic thoughts. I did not hate this movie, but it was not as good as I was hoping it would be. I was a bit disappointed, and it was all narrative. It looked fantastic, but it let me down a little bit in the narrative. It was a little weak in that department for me. How about you, Nick?
Right. Well, I think we've come to an impasse, Jacob. We've come to an impasse because I did watch I did watch this a second time because, like I said, I missed part of it because I did fall asleep. I didn't want to have an actual review out for it and not be honest because that's just not how I work. As I said in my review, the third act of this movie suffers, but I fucking love this movie. I love every inch of it because it's unique, it's original. It has characters that are like really disturbing to look at, which is what Henry Selick's characters have always been. But there's like a beautiful nature to him. And when you kind of settle down, and you watch what Wendell and Wild are. They're not characters that are like the cat and Coraline. They're characters that I don't want to spoil anything because it would spoil, but they're characters that are there for a specific reason, and they're just more like misunderstood than anything.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there.
Yeah, and I get the simple fact of like you not liking because they're just kind of weak characters, but I thought they were fascinating characters, and the world that they inhabit, without spoiling anything, is fantastic. And the things that Kat goes through and kind of her story arc progression, and the characters you think are going to be like bad people or the rotten people, or characters that are more dimensional than you ever think. And I'm glad you said
that's
that. Where
I don't want to cut you off, but I agree. Yes, you have a point there. There's a group of characters in the beginning of the film, closer to the beginning of the film, that you think are going to be those characters.
Yeah,
and they're not. It did. Yeah. I said it didn't subvert any expectation. There, it did. I will say that the movie did. As I was watching, because I immediately, when I saw these characters, I was like, oh, it's them. It's those characters. And by the end, that's not what those characters were. And I did like that they did that.
Right. And absolutely, to be honest with you, it's hard to have a story compared to another story that is, of course, written by Neil Gaiman. I mean, Neil Gaiman is a legend in the comic book world and the storytelling world. So Coraline was always going to be the better story just on a storytelling aspect, because you have a great kind of premise. You have a great idea. Excuse me. You have a great idea. Here, this is what's up?
Is it Hell's Puberty working for you?
Good. My balls are finally dropping. but no, this story is always going to be a little lesser just on that simple fact, because it's also the simple fact that as we talked about before, Henry Selick was supposed to work on a Pixar movie that fell through. He was working on a Little Nightmares TV show, which if you ever played the video game, it's about this little small person in this like grotesque world and stuff like that.
Totally see him doing that.
Yeah, definitely. And here it feels like, I think where the movie, like I said, has problems is there's a lot of messaging in this movie about certain things. One of the things we can't talk about is why the bad guys are doing what they're doing, that kind of stuff. The revelations in there, but
talk about the characterizations too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like there's some characters in here they're definitely playing off
Yep.
some characters
Yep.
yeah, some characters, and some of the messaging is a little kind of in your face, which is what Jordan Peele is known for doing. That's why, us and Nope and Get Out are so strong minded when it comes to like the views of his world and the views of that
Hmm.
side of society, and it's definitely prevalent here. But when I think this movie really works is when you show the Henry Selick creative side, when you
Yes.
get into like those really cool worlds that he presents. And here, like everything, like it's just a cool looking film. It's just an amazing looking film, like especially where Wendell and Wild come from, and just that idea and how, like I said, it's beautiful but grotesque, and it's a very chaotic
Well,
film. But
I don't think that we
it does.
totally disagree. I mean, I'm with you
No, but
there.
I think I liked it a lot more than you did. I think it's where I come off of.
It
Like,
sounds like it, but I do
yeah,
agree with everything you're saying as far as the aesthetic and the look and even the feel for the most part. I like what you said, and you do have a point, and I didn't elaborate as much. A lot of my issues with this movie are in the third
yeah,
act. The
yeah,
end of
yeah,
the
yeah.
second act, like the second half of the movie, the end of the second act and the third act as a whole, shit, it gets sloppy. That's what I thought narratively.
Yeah,
Um,
it takes characters and starts doing things with them that feel very conventional, and that the thing the other issue with this movie is it's way longer than it needs to be, because if you look at like
yes,
Jane and the
yes,
Giant Peach and you look at like Nightmare Before Christmas, they're like an hour and 10 minutes. This movie's like hour and 50 minutes long, and I
yeah.
don't know how big long Coraline is, but you can definitely feel its length after a while.
Yeah, I
It
remember we
feels
looked at it
yeah
and we thought it was about to end, and it had like 30 minutes left. We were like, "Oh my
yeah
god!"
exactly.
Like,
um
I am with you. Yeah, I think that's a big part. I'm glad you said that. Its length is a problem for me as well, because it was. I really felt its length, and it wasn't just because I was tired. It was just because even if I'm tired, if I'm watching a great movie, I'm going to be invested in it. But man, I, I I do think that the narrative structure, the narrative parts in the beginning, and I do. You would say Kat's journey. I
yeah.
liked her journey. There were a couple of things I was like, it's a little conventional, but I did like her character's overall journey. But when we get to the end of her journey, I didn't dislike it so much. It's just I knew exactly what was going to happen as it was happening.
Yeah.
When you get to, and most of that, now that I think of it, does go to the third act. And like I said, it starts in the second act, but it's mostly the second half of the film. Things just, the first half was really good. I was enjoying that. And like you said, the
Yeah.
look of where Wendell and Wild come from, that was awesome. The look of the film overall is awesome.
Well, yeah, because there's a character in this movie, and you'll know what I'm talking about, that deal with Wendell and Wild, and the way they play that character out, it just kind of it comes in like really cool, and then just sputters out really quickly, and I'm like, that's so weird. I'm like, it almost feels like they were missing something, or they just didn't have enough time to animate it. But it was just how it happens and how quickly it resolves itself. I'm like, this is weird. So that's why the third act is trying to wrap up so much stuff at once that it starts to
Yeah.
kind of unravel, unspool, I guess is the easiest way to put it.
Well, that's what where the disappointing for me aspects came from. It what the movie.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and tell everybody. I didn't hate this movie, and I wasn't like just, oh my god, it's terrible. You shouldn't watch it. It's total
Dude,
disappointment.
he was screaming at the computer screen. What are you
I
talking
was,
about?
I was, but no, like in all honesty, it wasn't like this movie. I thought it was awful.
Yeah.
It just was, and mainly because of the last parts of the film, it let me down a little bit because it did start with on a high. It was up here, and I really enjoyed what it was doing. Its look, the look had me from beginning to end because the look was
Yeah.
aesthetically the movie looked really great. Now, like I said, I do prefer some of the choices, artistic choices from Coraline, but that's a different movie, a different world.
Yeah.
This one is different looking, but it still looks fantastic. Don't get me wrong. But it was all my issues are narrative, and I'm you did help me hone in on that just now. Is it is that second half, mostly third act of the movie, just it just didn't do it. It really started to peter out for me, and I not that I hated it, but I think it's because it started up here and it ended here. It didn't end way down here. I mean, this is still solid, but this was great. So to go from great down to solid, just seems like there's a if it had started it solid and ended great, I think that would that's how you want your movie to end. You want to go out with a bang.
Yeah,
I didn't feel
yeah.
like it did.
And that's why Coraline works so well, because it starts out with a bang and ends with a bang, and just completely
Yeah.
feels like a fully realized movie. And here it's
Mm-hmm.
just like, it almost feels like there was too much time between movies, to be fairly honest, that they were a
Well,
little, yeah,
yeah,
I don't.
that and you kind of hit the nail on the head a bit, and you said something really good, that I feel like they were, and I mentioned it, they tried to cram too much in, but a
Yeah,
lot of that cramming in came after the halfway mark. Around the halfway mark, a little bit after, they start adding stuff. And it's like, why
yeah,
are you adding things now? You're supposed to add things in the beginning and pay off in the second part.
right,
And you do get payoffs on that stuff. But in the second half, they start adding a bunch of stuff in. And then by the time you get to the end where your payoffs are, you've got so much to pay off. You can't really spend time, as much time as you'd like, on the things you want. Or as much time as you would like to get like a satisfactory payoff on a lot of these things. You get some satisfaction for sure, but it never felt totally satisfied. And there were a few things. I'm going to stay away from it from the most part, but there were some Jordan Peele things in there that, like you said, were kind of in your face. And this being more of a family film, I think it highlighted those things even more. And those things felt like, why is this here?
yeah,
Why is it here this prevalent? I'll say that. It didn't need to be. This was one more thing you added to it that you didn't necessarily have to focus on so much. And if you had not had this, or had it at least downplayed some, the movie would have been more satisfying overall. And you
yeah,
still would have told the same story, because these things didn't really. The amount of stuff that they were, of time they were allocating to these things that we're talking about, didn't really add anything to the story, in my opinion. I don't know how you feel about it, but that's where I'm at with it. But I mean, what?
yeah. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. It adds stuff, but then starts adding too much stuff, and it starts trying to make points, and then some of those points fall flat. And yeah, it makes sense.
And I think a lot of it is because they just didn't have the time to devote to each of these things. They just had too many things to
Yeah.
wrap up. And the movie was already over long. I mean, there was. I can't really tell you what section needed to be cut out, but Jesus, you feel it by the time you get to the end of it. It's just like,
Yeah.
good God, is this movie going to end? But
Man.
yeah, overall, I mean, me myself, I know Nick, you don't do ratings, and I have weird ratings. So I mean, for me on my rating scale, I'd say this movie's worth checking out on streaming for my rating. So
Yeah.
it's over, and that's an overall. If you go on strictly visual, just the visual look and the aesthetic of it, I would say buy it on 4K Blu-ray, because I bet it looks fantastic. Because it does. It looks wonderful.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
very creative. The whole stuff about where Wendell and Wild came from, I don't know if we can really say what that is, but that area was really creative. Now, like you said, there is a particular character they set up and then just comes and goes. And you're like, what? That really? They build it up, too. They build this thing up. And then when it happens, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, well, okay, bye. You're like, that happened. So, but yeah, for me, I would say it's worth streaming. It's a high worth streaming. It
Yeah.
doesn't quite make it to worth a buy for me, but I know you rate things. Well, you don't rate things, period. But I think people get your feelings from
Yeah, I mean,
from your words.
like I do ratings for like, yeah, I for most things, like TV shows, I do ratings, but I'm right there with you. So in that kind of realm.
Cool. Well, that was our look, our views, our thoughts on Wendell and Wild, everybody. It comes out next Friday as of this recording on Netflix. I do think it's worth checking out, especially if you like Selleck's previous work, such as Coraline and Nightmare Before Christmas and stuff like that. It's not as dark as that. It does deal with some dark subject. I do want to say this movie had a lot more religious subtext, like in your face religious subtext, than I was expecting. These movies typically they will have, well, not subtext. It wasn't even subtext. That's the thing. Usually it is subtext. It's kind of like, oh, that's what this is about. No, this was just like bam in your face about it. So, and I'm not saying anything bad about that, but I just wasn't expecting that. I was like, wow, they just put it there. That's not a negative or a positive either, by the way. but I remember making that making that observation that there's a lot more religious subtext in this than you usually see from family films. So anyway, unless they're made by like Kevin Sorbo or something, but
Kirk Cameron.
but yeah, Kirk Cameron and Kevin Sorbo and that one guy who runs that Netflix of the Jesus Netflix thing. Anyway, we're getting off on a tangent. I think for I speak for both of us to a degree that it's worth checking out. It is definitely worth checking out, but just keep your expectations in line. Yeah, I think it's a really good film, but just know what you're getting into when you get it, when you go see it. You got anything else you want to add?
No. I think we said as much as we could.
Yeah, we said all we could. We could say more, but we're not going.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
All right, so let us know in the comments below. Once you guys see Wendell and Wild, or if you were able to see it early, what did you think? And once you have seen it, let us know. Did you enjoy it? Do you agree with our comments, or do you think we are just full of shit? Let us know in the comments below. All right. There we are. We're a little bit past the halfway point now, honestly. We're running a little short on time, but we don't have many more stories to talk about. Looks like up here in the comments, Cobra Kai needs to take notes, says Fright Films. What are we referring to there? Black Samurai
I think
sounds like a cooler version of Karate Kid. Maybe? I don't know. I think I remember that way back then. Guess you guys are still talking about Black Samurai. Right on. It does sound cool. That does sound like a really neat idea, the whole Black Samurai thing. The actor who played in Spawn would be great in that role, Black Samurai thing. Michael J. White? Yes. I love me some Michael J. White. He's not a great actor.
No, I had to mention that he was in Black Dynamite, so.
Yeah, he was Black Dynamite. Absolutely.
Yeah.
If any of you have not seen Black Dynamite, holy shit, what are you doing with your life?
If you have not seen the animated series, you need to watch that as well.
Yeah, like with Kermit or that damn frog. What the fuck is it? It's like a Kermit the Frog. It's like that goddamn frog. Anyway, yeah, Black Dynamite all around is amazing, but the Black Dynamite the movie is like a diamond in the rough. This movie should not have been as good as it is, but it is absolutely worth checking out. So check out Black Dynamite. I don't even know where you go to see that. I don't know if you could stream it somewhere.
Yeah, I mean it's probably VOD, but yeah, I'm not sure it's streamable.
It's awesome. It's an awesome movie. Especially if this Black Samurai movie sounds good to you. Black Dynamite, blaxploitation through and through, just so good. Had no right to be as good as it was. All right, let's move on to our next story. Let me get this stuff lined back up. Where am I? What is our next story? Ooh, this is one you sent to me, Nick, but I saw, and I don't. I'm man enough to admit I don't fully understand this.
Okay.
The Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah.
I love my favorite film of all time, all three of them put together. But the Fellowship of the Ring is not just a movie anymore. It has grown past that. Let me read something here, and then we'll see what the hell I'm talking about. Warner Brothers Discovery has partnered with blockchain company Alluvio to launch The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, extended version, Web3 movie experience. Okay. I don't know exactly what that is. It sounds like just a place you can stream the extended edition of Lord of the Rings, right? So much more. Warner Brothers Discovery is mining, they're making it an NFT. And NFTs are kind of confusing to a lot of people. But yeah, Lord of the Rings, a fucking movie, is becoming an NFT. The extended version. Warner Brothers Discovery is mining 999 copies of the Epic Edition, priced at $100 each, and 10,000 copies of the Mystery Edition at $30 each. Both allow buyers to watch the extended version of the film, which clocks in at 3 hours and 48 minutes, in 4K UHD, along with access to more than 8 hours of special features, hundreds of images, and hidden AR collectibles. The Epic Edition includes navigation menus for 3 film locations, the Shire, Rivendell, and the Mines of Moria, along with location-specific key art. The Mystery Edition includes one of them, assigned at random. The Epic Edition also includes extra image galleries not in the Mystery Edition. The core digital assets of the experience, along with derivative NFTs, are all on the blockchain, not just the token NFT itself. That means smart contracts and content experiences can be dynamically updated over time. All right, man, I'm not going to lie. I am so fucking stupid when it comes to NFTs that some of that is like Japanese to me.
Yeah.
But I get the basic idea. What the fuck? Why? What?
Because David Zaslav is a cretin and an idiot and a jackass, and he's trying to be hip to be square, or square to be hip, and it's just NFT. Okay, so if you ever go to AMC, and you guys might know this, outside of whoever lives in Britain, stuff like that, AMC has done, if you go to a screening, like the first screening, they'll give you an NFT for whatever movie. And NFT is a non-fungible token. It's basically a digital something that you can keep and sell, and people have made millions of dollars off of it. Now it's not as popular as it was, but it's the stupidest thing ever. It ruins the whole concept of what's that?
It's usually like artwork.
Yeah, it's like digital artwork in a lot of respects. I still don't know the full extent of it.
There's only a certain amount, supposedly, even though it's digital, but whatever.
I don't know. This is David Zaslav doing some stupid shit, and they're trying to do something with Lord of the Rings and trying to be cool, and they're gonna sell this, we said, for $100, and it's just like, I don't.
Well, yeah, there's 900. There's 1,000 copies of the $100 version and 10,000 copies of the $30 version.
Yeah, I don't know. They're just trying to sell shit to make money. It just. I was actually surprised you brought this up. It just baffles me because there's no logic, rhyme, or reason to anything that Warner Brothers does right now, and this is just one of those things. It makes me think of, like, with PlayStation and Xbox. It's like, what are you guys doing, man? Just put out shit that we want to see. I don't want NFTs. I don't care about NFTs. I haven't ever redeemed an AMC NFT to save my life, and it's fucking stupid.
Well, you're right. I almost didn't bring this up.
Yeah, one of the best series of all time. They're doing stupid shit with this. It's like, fuck off.
The reason I brought it up, the reason I talked about it today was because, like I said, my knowledge of NFTs is kind of... I get it, but then I think I get what it is. I don't get why the fuck people do it and why it's so big. That's my problem. But that being said, this shit's already available, and it's been available all the way back to the DVD version of the extended versions, all the way the Blu-ray, and now the 4K version. I own all three movies. All these things that they say you can get are in. It's just the disc versions that they're, I guess, putting digitally. Why would you pay more for? Why would you pay $100 to have a digital version of what I have already? It's not like you're getting anything you can't get anywhere else. That's what I don't get. You could get many people already own this. I own it. Like I said, 3 versions of it, of all this shit. It's all the same stuff. They took the 4K Blu-ray version, it sounds like, and just took all the discs digitally, put them out there digitally, and said, here you go. Pay more money to get this. I don't get it. It's a collector thing, I guess.
I don't know. It's stupid shit. It's shit that, like...
I mean, if people want to pay for it, more power to them. I just don't see the point at all. But hey, whatever, to each his own.
Whatever floats your boat, yeah.
I would just
fucking
be really...
idiots.
I want someone who really is into NFTs to, like, actually explain to me the value in this. Because I do not see any value in this whatsoever. And I mean, value is subjective. It's the person. I mean, like I said, I've said many times, back here behind this screen, I've got 40 some odd old ass and new consoles, video game consoles. Some people would look at that and be like, that's a waste of fucking money. And I get it. You're right. It could be. But for me, it has value. This, though, I just don't get. It's just, there's no value here whatsoever. I don't understand unless it's a collecting NFTs kind of thing. I don't get it. Somebody let me know. Maybe I'm a fucking boomer. I'm definitely a boomer. But maybe I'm a boomer when it comes to this shit. There's no NFT that I've ever been like, I gotta have that. Just don't get it, but whatever. let us know in the comments below if you're interested in getting Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. It's only the first movie, extended version, NFT for either $100 or $30, and which version you will be getting. And like I said, if you are an NFT fan, just try and give me like an actual educated explanation as to why these things are so interesting to you. Why is this something you'd want? Because I am genuinely interested to know. Maybe there's something I'm just not seeing. There has to be. I don't know. But let us know in the comments below what you guys think of that. Alrighty. On to the next thing. It looks like Fright says the statue in the back looks like one of those Monster High school. What? Oh, I think he's talking about the Wendell Wild thing. Yeah, she does kind of look like a Monster High thing. Her head's not quite big enough. But yeah. Coming out with a live-action Monster High movie, by the way. I know that because I got lots of kids. I'm wondering if the characters in it will have big-ass heads. Like the brat. Well, those were brats. Did Monster High have big-ass heads? I can't remember.
I don't know.
I don't know. I wasn't asking. I knew you did know. Yeah. I get all those dolls mixed up. They've been in my house at one point in time. I know the brats had big ass heads. I can't remember. Why are we talking about this? Moving on. All right. So yesterday, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, there was a stream for Silent Hill. It was called the Transmission, the Silent Hill Transmission, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Konami, the owners of Silent Hill, the developers also, or no, they're the owners. They have different developers who make them. Silent Hill's a series of games. It's also been movies. Well, they just had a bunch of Silent Hill shit. There's been nothing about Silent Hill for years now. Beloved series. And all kinds of shit. They announced games. They got a new game coming that's going to be in Japan at some point. They got a remake of Silent Hill 2 that's going to be at least timed exclusive for PlayStation. Kind of wanted to talk about how it is that they're doing that, but then bitching and moaning about the whole acquisition. We're not going to get there. But they had a mobile game. They had all kinds of games and stuff. They just Silent Hill overload, but something else that they talked about was a new movie. We're getting another Silent Hill movie. And that's not all the news. There's actually good news attached to this because you're thinking video game movie? Oh my God. And the Silent Hill, the second one was terrible. But the first one was actually good. I enjoy the first Silent Hill movie. It's not perfect, but it's an entertaining little ride. It is one of the better video game movies out there. During a recent live stream dubbed the Silent Hill Transmission, like I said, a new film in the Silent Hill franchise titled Return to Silent Hill was announced. Christoph Gaines, who helmed the original 2006 Silent Hill film adaptation, the good one, will direct this newly announced sequel, which is said to follow the events of the video game Silent Hill 2. Victor Haidida, executive producer for the first Silent Hill film and the new Return film, said, "The film tells a story of a young guy coming back to Silent Hill where he has known a great love, and what he is going to find is a pure nightmare." Gaines, for what it's worth, spoke about the possibility of a new Silent Hill film months ago in an interview, saying, "The script for a new Silent Hill movie is totally independent from the two previous movies made and respects the way Silent Hill has evolved. Silent Hill is a bit like the Twilight Zone, the fourth dimension, a place where anything and everything can happen. I worked on a new Silent Hill, which is a Silent Hill of the year 2023, since the film would be released next year in 2023, and not a Silent Hill as I imagined in 2006. You excited about this, Nick?
You know, I'm right there with you. I love the first movie. It was entertaining. It at least was competent, unlike that second movie. Really respected the property for the most part. And yeah, I really like it. Now, it's interesting that they decided to do a sequel with this director, who, of course, did Brotherhood of the Wolf. You know, they're bringing a new writer because the original writer, of course, went to jail for manslaughter. But yeah, I'm excited for it because I think it'll be a fun movie. I think it'll be an entertaining movie. The fact that they're kind of taking off Silent Hill 2, you know, bringing back Pyramid Head. They're going to have better technology with the CGI because, to be fairly honest, if you go back and watch that original movie, CGI don't hold up very well. So,
yeah.
I kind of want them to bring Sean Bean back, but I don't know if he died in the second movie or not. But
no, he didn't.
Okay, yeah, bring Sean Bean back then. Have him die by Pyramid Head. Have him be Pyramid Head or something like that. Um, yeah, it's gonna be like 3 years or 2 years before the movie comes out, but if they can respect the property and make it like the first one where they make it halfway decent and one of the better, or video game movies, then sure, why not?
Well, they say that it's now. Here's the thing: it's the wording is odd because in one
Yeah,
part they say it's a new film in the Silent Hill franchise, and then they do say at one point newly announced sequel. Now I don't know if this is the wording coming from the article I pulled all this from, or if that's if it is an actual sequel because he's saying
yeah,
and what he said months ago might not be what they're doing now. I don't know. Nobody knows. All we know officially, the only official stuff we have of the new film is what the producer said that the film tells the story of a young guy coming back to Silent Hill where he has known a great love and what he is going to find is pure nightmare. That's it. So all that stuff that Gaines said months ago could be just totally in the ether.
yeah.
They say it's based or it will follow the events of Silent Hill 2. Now that is the one Silent Hill game I've played all the way through to the end. And it is probably lauded as the best one. That's why they're remaking it. It follows a character, I believe his name was Harry. It follows a male character, which many people, because the first film wasn't an exact adaptation, but many
Yeah.
people say that it's funny that you mention what's his name? Michael
Sean Bean.
Sean Bean. Sean Bean. I want to say Michael Bean.
Yeah.
I know it's not him. Sean Bean's character. Many people said he was more or less the character of Harry from part two. Now, I don't want to spoil it, but what we know, if you've played Silent Hill 2, the way that story works out, if they follow that story to a T, no, his character's not that. He did survive the first film.
No, he clearly plays the dog at the computer monitor.
Yeah,
Or
that ending, the alien
dude,
thing.
did you see the statue? They're coming out with the statue for that part, that ending.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
the little
the dog on the computer.
kind of, it's one of those
Yeah,
Japanese dogs. But yeah,
Shiba-Inu.
well,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, should this be a direct? I don't have no idea if it's a direct sequel or if it's just another movie in that franchise. I'd like to see a sequel to the first one where Sean Bean comes back and maybe he's going and
Well,
looking for whatever her name was.
well, that's what he was doing in the second movie. He was looking for what's her face. She ends
That's
up,
right, because the second one
yeah,
was a direct sequel, but he died in that one.
yeah. It
He
had
did die in
fucking
that.
Jon Snow in it and shit. No,
Yeah,
this one,
and Carrie Ann
honestly, if
Moss.
they did like a wholly original movie, I'd be fine with that because there are many stories you can tell about Silent Hill. Like for instance, when we were talking, what you talking about, the new Silent Hill game that isn't this like weird live experience from J.J. Abrams is it's set in Japan. So
Yeah, in the
why can't
60s.
you make a yeah? So it's called Silent Hill F or something like that. And it's
Yeah.
like, why can't you just make a different story? We don't need to follow
I
this
think
woman
that
in the background, Rhoda Mitchell, and
now that I
all
think of
this.
that, and now that I remember that the second movie is a direct sequel to the first one, no matter how
Yeah.
terrible it is, I don't think this is. I think that sequel was just from this article. I don't think that this
Oh,
is going to be a
okay.
sequel. I think this is going to just be another Silent Hill, and we happen to have the first movie's director. I think it's going to be a whole new thing, especially if they're following the second game. I mean, it could be in the same world, but just a different story. Like, there's nothing saying that it couldn't be the same Silent Hill, same universe, but it's not connected to
Yeah.
that first one beyond, of course, Silent Hill. Um, but yeah, the second game does have one of the more interesting stories, especially its big twist in the end is an interesting twist.
Right.
So yeah, right on. I'm looking forward to this. I really liked what he did with the first one and even Brotherhood of the Wolf. Has he made any? I'm sure he's made something else. Has he done anything else
Um,
since then?
no, I don't think so. I think he's stuck mostly to like French films or something like that.
Well, yeah, he is French, so I mean,
Yeah.
that makes sense. But well, yeah, I'd be interested. I liked what he did with the first one, so I'd be interested to see his take on the second one. I hope they don't like stick like word for word to the second one's story because I mean, branch out a little bit. I guess what I liked
Yeah.
about the first one is an adaptation. There was Silent Hill stuff in there that we knew, but it was, doing its own thing. And some people don't like that, but me myself, I don't want to see an exact replica of the story I've already played through. There's nothing. I know what's going to happen. I don't want tell something a little bit different and just have flourishes. It's called an adaptation for a reason. But
Yeah.
Whatever. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people are like, shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, yeah, Silent Hill 3 or remake, reboot, whatever. There's another fucking Silent Hill coming. It's coming from a director who has shown he knows how to direct Silent Hill. So that's coming at some point. They didn't give any information as to when it's coming out. So it's probably at least a year or so away, I would say. I have no idea. So let us know in the comments below if you're interested in Silent Hill and Christoph Gaines coming and taking over the helm for this new Silent Hill that's going to follow the second game's story. Have you played any of the Silent Hills? Are you do you like Silent Hill 2? If not, well, you're going to be real disappointed in this movie because it's going to follow that story to at least to a degree. But what do you guys think of this? Let us know. And by the way, he had nothing to do with the second film, which is fucking terrible, by the way. So, yeah, let us know in the comments below.
Yes.
All right. So one more story to go, and then we're going to get out of you guys' hair for the day. This is looks like not much going on in the chat right now. Oh, never mind. There is stuff going on in the chat. I just hadn't scrolled down. Looks like oh, I guess Fright had to leave. All right, Fright. Thanks for hanging out, man. I really appreciate it. I know you're here for almost every one of these streams, and I really appreciate that. Bye, Fright. Said bye, Nick. Bye, Jacob. Magical said, being a woman, I never did get into the Lord of the Rings. Sorry. I like the Silent Hill. The movies didn't get into the game, so I hear you. And I think that's a lot of people. I think there are people that aren't into games that did enjoy the movies. The movies did fairly well, even the second one. I know it didn't do as well as the first one, but I mean, there were people that just weren't into video games at all. They said they liked the second one. I don't see how. I mean, more power to you. The first one was good, but the second one was like the one with Jon Snow in it and Carrie Ann Moss.
It was real bad.
Yeah, I did not care for that one. But all right, so let's look at this. This is okay. Before I jump into this one, and before I even pull the picture up and say what we're talking about, I do want to say that this is going to definitely. I'm going to try not to have a spoiler, but just the fact that I'm talking about this particular thing is kind of a spoiler unto itself for Black Adam. So it's not an end of the world spoiler, and chances are you've already had this spoiled for you anyway, because it was put out there and spoiled. If you spend any time on the internet, you've probably already heard it. But just letting you know, if you want absolutely nothing to be known about Black Adam, then you might want to tune out for the next 5-10 minutes, because this story does directly tie into stuff that happens at the very, very, very end of Black Adam that is would have been a big, great spoiler, but it was spoiled for us before the fucking movie ever came out. There you go. There's your warning. 3, 2, 1. Black Adam versus Superman. It is a thing. This is a reality now. We've been talking about it here or there. But where does it go from here? For those of you that haven't seen Black Adam yet, I'm not going to say it, but I'm going to say that mid-credit scene or post-credit scene that we've all heard about, yes, it's true. That is what it is. So now the two they haven't faced off yet, but they have spoken. We need to talk. I believe is what was said. So now where do we go from here? And according to Dwayne Johnson's longtime producing partner, Hiram Garcia, he said, it's never been about a one-off or just about a single fight. Garcia added, no. It's about so much more than that. We really want to craft a long form of storytelling and show that these two characters exist in the same universe and are going to have to deal with each other often, either on the same or opposite sides. Hopefully, they're going to clash at some point, but it's not just about a one-fight situation. That was never our dream. That does not reward the fans. Fans want to feel a journey between these guys, knowing that these guys exist in the same universe. So pretty much what they're saying, or the way I decipher that, what I get from that is they want to continue the DCEU, whatever that may be, and these two characters are in there, and they will periodically come across each other, and they want to build to some type of conflict. Now, I mean, they're both good guys, so what that conflict will be and why they'll fight at some point, I'm sure there'll be some misunderstanding. I don't know. I think they do want to get to that big versus moment, whether they'll call it Black Adam versus Superman, I don't know, but they want to get to that versus moment. But it does sound like they want to build to that. They don't just want to, here it is, release it. for me, I think that's a good idea. I like that idea. You build on something, you build up to it, so when you finally get it, it's like, yes, this is what I've been waiting for. They've built to it. We have stakes, we have investment, all that stuff. For DC though, they have been very inconsistent in this stuff, and staying the course, staying in line with a thing. They've been very, okay, we're doing this. No, we're not going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. So I'm kind of like, if they have like this multi-year arc that they want to do, are we ever going to see the fucking end of it? That's what I would be worried about. Is Warner Brothers and DC ever going to allow these films to be made over this time to where we actually get to this big payoff? I would be more afraid that they start it and we never get that movie. Now, that being said, I know that they're working on making this a more excuse me, clear defined, having a direction that they're going. So it isn't so erratic all over the place with the DCEU, but they ain't there yet. A lot of it's still up in the air. That's my thoughts. I'd love to see this. I just, in its current state, I don't know if we're going to get there. What about you, Nick?
I don't mind it. I always thought Shazam and Black Adam were supposed to fight, not Superman and Black Adam.
Oh, they
Am I
definitely
wrong
will.
about that?
No, they will, for sure. But because Shazam is powerful, but Superman is, the guy. So I think this whole, like, these two, I guess Black Adam is supposed to be a bit more maybe not more powerful than Shazam. He's just more experienced,
Yeah.
I think. So that's why he's got the upper hand on Shazam. So Superman, he would be they are the two top guys in the DC universe. So The Rock is really wanting them to just come to a head at some point. But yeah, he'll definitely fight. I don't know if he fights him. He will definitely be involved with Shazam at some point for sure. I bet he'll be in the movie, The Fury of the Gods. I bet he'll post-credit scene or something.
I mean, hell, if not to spoil anything, but in DC League of Super Pets, Black Adam's dog was in there at the end credit sequence. So
That's
I mean,
right.
anything's possible. Yeah,
he was in that. I actually didn't see that when I saw the movie originally in theaters.
I didn't either. So.
Now that it's at home, I saw it like 2 weeks ago for the first time, and it was the Rock voiced the dog, and also the whatever the Superman's dog was too. I thought that was funny, but I don't know. I mean, do you think that this is something they could actually commit to and finish?
Yeah, I mean, DC needs a win here because apparently they're claiming that Black Adam's only going to do 60 million this weekend. So I mean, they need something. It would be a pretty big. For a fact if Henry Cavill pops back in this universe, that it's going to do 100 million plus. So.
Oh yeah, and they've already confirmed that we are getting a Man of Steel 2, so he's back in. He's back in the universe. So I would like to see this clash, but I mean, it's kind of like what happens at that point. Because both of them are more or less impenetrable. How do these guys fight? They just start punching each other, and it's just like pow, pow, pow. I mean, nobody. At some point, you're like at an impasse here. So I would imagine there have to be some other stakes at hand.
Not to spoil anything, but Black Adam was a little OP'd in this movie. So I mean,
a little bit, yeah.
Just a little bit, yeah. I mean, to the point where I'm like going, do we need a Justice Society of America? So,
well. I mean, the way that it's set up, okay, I'm just going to put it out there, people. I already said spoilers. The way he's in the end of the fucking movie, and the way that it's set up is that, Henry Cavill or Superman is Amanda Waller and Earth, us, our kind of like contingency plan. She more or less tells him, keep your ass in line. If you leave this area that you're in, we got this guy. So, don't fuck with us or he'll come in and then he shows up and we got to talk. I don't know. I can't really say I'm like excited to just see these characters clash because I don't have enough investment in Black Adam at this point. But I'm excited to see Henry Cavill back in that role. I think it could be cool to have these two because that is kind of like the thing you figure out. when they fight, what does that mean? One, Superman can't beat Black Adam. Black Adam can't beat Superman. There's this
Is
impasse.
this a Dragon Ball 9000 situation?
Yeah, they just destroy the Earth as they're fighting. I mean, what? Nobody's gonna win. No, I mean, no bones about. Whenever this clash, if it does happens, neither's gonna win. It's gonna be a Godzilla Kong situation where they'll have one fight, one will one up the other, then they'll have another fight, and the other one will one up that one, and then at some point they'll have to come together against a greater foe or something like that.
Is Black Adam's mom named Martha?
Ella Martha! Or, no, he's not Spanish.
Ted Martha. It's Ted Martha.
Martha Tet, or whatever his name was. Tet Martha. I don't know, but yeah, hopefully we don't get any more of that. I don't know. There's not a lot of information here. They're saying it's going to happen, and I mean, if you watch the end of Black Adam, yeah, it's going to happen. Henry Cavill's back, and The Rock has been saying for years. I walked up in Warner Brothers and told them this is happening. Henry Cavill and me are fighting, and according to what we heard, they were like, "No, man, no, get the fuck out of here. Who do you think you are?" He's like, "I'm the fucking Rock," and we were like, "Well, he got shot down." Apparently not. The Rock, he made that shit happen. So good on him. So I would be interested to see what they do, but have no idea what they would do. Why would they be fighting to begin with? Because Black Adam is set up to be essentially a good guy. I don't know. But anyway, I guess that we don't really have a lot of input on that. But I guess let us know.
Batman vs Superman.
Somebody out there, has this happened in the comics? I'm sure it has. Why did they clash in the comics? Now I know Black Adam used to be a bad guy back in the day, but since he's become a anti-hero good guy, like a more likable character, have they clashed since then, and why? Well, what could the possible story for this thing be in the future DCEU? I'm curious to know that, because I really have no fucking clue why. Are you guys looking forward to it? Could you care less? Let us know in the comments below. And that's the show, ladies and gents. That's all the little stories we had to talk about. Not much going on this week, but hey, something. Yeah. Thanks for everybody hanging out. Everybody wish Nick well. This is his final show for a little bit at least, unless he's able to slide in somewhere.
He hasn't told anybody, but he's fired me, so.
Yeah,
damn
you're
you, Jacob.
You're getting your $10 a week.
But, shit. Yeah.
Yeah. He has promised me he'll be back.
Yeah. Oh, I hope. Let's hope.
I feel.
I'm never the optimist, but yeah, I plan. As long as everything goes correctly, I'll be back at some point soon. Hopefully before Avatar: The Way of Water comes out, so I can trash that movie in front of Jacob.
Oh no. You will be canceled. I don't know. Hey, that's me, man. Though, if I go into this, I'm going to go into this movie very critically, admittedly, because I know the love I have of Avatar. So I'm going to go into it and say I'm expecting and I'm hoping for this movie to be good. But I've shown in the past that for me, sometimes that expectation can ruin a fucking movie for me. So I might go in expecting it to be the be all end all, and maybe it's just solid. But that's going to make me even more disappointed. So this movie has a lot to live up to for me. So if I go in and it's just kind of like, oh, yeah, it was fine, I'm probably not going to be very happy about it. So I hope it's awesome. Come on, Jimmy. You haven't failed me yet. Don't fail me now. We'll find out in a little over a month. But yeah, I hope you're back by then too, or before, and all goes well in your move. And, moving sucks. I did it a year ago.
Does.
Or a little over a year ago. So
hopefully you don't have to move anytime soon. So
I ain't moving anywhere. I bought this house. I'm here. I'm here and staying. But yeah, I never want to move again. It sucks ass. I moved like 3 times within a year, well, less than a year. Last year I moved. Was it 3 times? Yeah, 3 different times I moved. That sucked. But so hope your moving situation goes a little bit better than mine. I've still got boxes. I moved in January of this year. There's still a few boxes in a storage room over there I gotta go through. Just saying. But yeah, you guys. Hope you guys all enjoyed the show. Say bye to Nick, and Nick. We hope it all goes well with you, and we hope to see you again soon. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I still got some content coming.
oh
Here's
yeah,
my
tell everybody what
plan.
you got coming.
Oh yeah, yeah. So my plan is we have the last Fifth Dimension episode for a while. That is a episode review of an actual Twilight Zone episode. I won't spoil who it is, but you might want to find your North Dakota Johnson or find a banana and maybe tune in for the this
Oh
coming
yeah,
Monday's episode.
is it really? Is that this
It's
week? Is that
good.
this Monday?
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Oh, we
It's
filmed that so
Monday.
long ago. But
It's
yeah, I'm
oh
looking
yeah,
forward to that one.
it's hilarious. I had to cut some of the stuff out to keep my channel from being demonetized, but for the most part, it's pretty funny. Then we're gonna do something really cool with the episode that's gonna kind of close it out for a little while until I get moved. But other than that, I got a review for the Peripheral. I'm gonna do the whole entire season, so you'll see some videos for that. I'll try to do some on video camera with my phone type of thing, and then I got a review for a series that's coming next week. So that I can't talk about what it is, but you want to tune in for that. That's a
I
pretty
know
cool
what it
thing.
is.
So it's a porno, damn it. I'm sorry.
It happens. Well, good. I'm looking forward to that. And
Yeah.
everybody else, go check out Nick's channel and check that stuff out too. I've got some stuff coming. I have a Black Adam review that is already done. I'm hoping to have it out today. If you don't see it in the next hour or two after this show ends, it'll be tomorrow morning. But it is coming very soon. I hope to, because if it gets too late, I'll just upload it in the morning, or I'll upload it tonight, but you won't see it till the morning. Members, you'll get to see it as soon as it goes live, or as soon as I upload it. So that's one of the perks of being a channel member or a part of Patreon. You get to see all my stuff early. But yeah, that's I got that. I got another movie review that's coming this weekend of a movie called Piggy. It's a horror movie, and we just did Wendell and Wild. And I got some other ones that I haven't watched yet that hopefully will be coming soon. And I'm gonna figure out this whole thing about, like, I want to get more reviews out, but I still want to do this show, so I'm gonna find that balance there. But yeah, everybody, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Magical, Fright, did Antonio show up today?
No, he didn't.
I think he's probably at work.
Yeah.
Triv, anybody else? I know there were more people watching. Thank you for everybody who was watching, and even if you didn't comment. And hope to see you guys on Tuesday when I'm back here again with more stuff to talk about. But I'll probably be by myself. I might have somebody else on because there's a movie I want to talk about that I'd like to have somebody talk about it with. So see you guys then. Au revoir.